अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, क्या हाल चाल है आप लोगों के? Okay, so listen up guys. First of all, there is a link in the description where you will find the mock. ठीक है? अब you can do it two ways. ठीक है? Listen to the instructions very carefully. अभी A-level students ने mock दिया है. Okay, they were able to do it. You guys should also be able to do it. Okay? So you guys can give the mock two different ways. One is that you can just download the PDF, solve it, and it won't be checked. But if you want us to check it, so we have an AI tool with the help of which we can grade your work. ठीक है? वो आपने कैसे करना है? Listen to the following instructions very, very carefully. Okay? So click on the link in description where it says give mock here. ठीक है? You will see a learningaid.ai करके you'll see a link. Click on that. You will see a page where you'll have to enter your details to sign up. Okay, sign up with, just make sure you enter your correct name, your email address. ठीक है? Set up a password, just sign up. And then on the top left, you will see download PDF. ठीक है? Download PDF करके एक link आएगा. It will load, it will take a while. ठीक है? It will load, it will take a while. सही है? 2 सेकंड, ये नहीं कि बस 2 सेकंड वेट किया, that's it. It will load, it will take a while. We've tested it multiple times. It is loading in front of me right now and it's working all right. If it's not working for you, I'm afraid the problem is at your end. Okay, let me just double check. Yep, it's loading for me. It's going to take a while, it is, but it will load. Okay, once you're done, make sure to scan your work, turn it into a PDF file and then submit. Okay, once you're done, I will show you कि submit का option कहाँ पे आ रहा है. So let me just quickly log in. Yeah, down नीचे आपके पास आ रहा होगा, in fact ऊपर ही आ रहा होगा upload files. Okay, on the top next to save now, on the left of the time you will see upload files. Ideally upload PDFs and then click upload and then click submit. ठीक है? So this way we will be able to grade your work also. Now, if you don't want us to grade your work, you can simply handwritten. Yes, handwritten. Okay, just take pictures of your handwritten work. It will be graded. Okay. But if you don't want to go through all this, let's say you're not so tech savvy and you're not able to follow these instructions. Okay, although you should be, it's not that big of a deal. Abhi A-level students वालों ने दिया and they were able to get their marks instantly. So if you also want to see where you stand, you should be able to follow these instructions and then click submit and then you will see your marks. Now, if you don't want to do any of that, then just below that, there is a link which if you click, it will take you to a Dropbox folder where you can just download the PDF and that's it. Okay? Nahi beta, not through WhatsApp. Just follow the instructions that I've shared. Okay, I'll repeat one last time. Click on the Learning Aid AI link. ठीक है? उसमें जाके आप sign up. You will see the PDF. Download the PDF, solve it on a separate piece of paper, take pictures of your work, scan it. ठीक है? Scan कर लो using a PDF, using cam scanner or whatever. Upload the PDF file, submit it. It should be handwritten, no problem. Just make sure that the writing is readable and then that's it. It will take 5-6 minutes to grade, but it will do it. ठीक है? Will the AI understand my dumb writing? I don't know. Let's find out. There's only one way to find out. ठीक है? So किसी लोगों को, आप लोगों को मिल गया? Just let me, give me a yes or no in the chat. Just give me a yes or no because I'm going to have to disable the chat. I can't keep the chat open. Just give me a yes or no. मिल गया आप लोगों को? Yeah, I will solve it. Yes, ठीक है. Baddest and meanest for PNC file? Where did you see that? ये कहाँ दिख गया आपको? There is baddest and meanest, but where did you see that right now? खैर, चलें. Yeah, you guys can start. Beta, the link is in description. Okay, I'm not going to repeat. Just jump to the first part of the just jump to the first part of the stream to see how it works. ठीक है? Yeah, you can print them and solve and whatever you want to do, go ahead. No problem. ठीक है? All right. So I'll give you guys 2 hours. Yeah, please start. Okay, I'll give you guys 2 hours to work it out. या दिस इज़ नॉन कैलकुलेटर, ओके। सो प्लीज़ बेटा सबमिशन में आप टॉप पे देखना, आपको दिखेगा, जस्ट अ मिनट, आपको दिखेगा अपलोड फाइल्स कर लो और फिर नीचे जाके सबमिट कर लो, ठीक है। अब इतने तो टेक सेवी सब होंगे ना यार, इतने तो टेक सेवी आप लोग होंगे दैट यू गाइस विल फिगर इट आउट, ठीक है। वी विल डिस्कस इट वंस यू गाइस आर डन सॉल्विंग, वी विल डिस्कस इट, ओके। इन दिस स्ट्रीम ओनली वी विल डिस्कस इट, ओके। So we'll discuss it after 2 hours once you guys are done solving and once you guys submit it, okay? After that we will discuss the same stream. All right, so yeah, I'll stop. I'll leave you guys to it. Good luck. Assalamu alaikum everyone. क्या हाल है आप लोगों के? Okay, let me look at the submissions. I hope you guys were able to submit the mock. I got 65 submits. अच्छा ग्रेड अगर अभी नहीं आया तो वेट, ठीक है मिल जाएगा ग्रेड. एआई को चेकिंग करने में टाइम लगता है. Okay, so let me see the highest marks received so far. ठीक है, so far. So Musa Ali has gotten 100 out of 100. Musa, आप वही क्लास वाले Musa हो? And then there is Mansha Lohana, 96 out of 101. Not bad. Mohammad Mehdi, 96. Fatma Zahra, 92. Achha, this was out of 101 marks, okay. Then there is Alian, 92. Antique Smarto, 92. Mohammad Hassan Shehbaz, 91. Anaya Awais, 91. Uzair, 91. Aisha Nazish, 91. Sayyid Saad, 90. But you will get your grade in a while. Ayan Jamshed, 89. Hamza Fawad, 89. Not bad. A lot of you showed up. Chalo, that's nice. That is nice. Sir, I did. Acha, just so you guys know, I'll explain how you're supposed to submit it again. Okay? Please understand that this is the first time we're testing, second time actually, we're testing this out, this feature out. So I'll explain how you guys are supposed to do it again. So you have to click on the link in description. When you do that, you will end up with a link like this. Now you can sign up, write your name, email address, set up your password. Okay? Once you do that, this is what you will see. Okay? आपको ये दिखेगा. You can download the PDF from here. Okay, you guys can download the PDF from here. I hope you guys can see my screen. Yeah, great. And then you can, once you're done, just upload file over here. Okay, so I would suggest add PDF. PDF आसानी से check हो जाते हैं. Images take a while. Add PDF, upload, and then once you're done with that, I think नीचे कहीं पे submit या कुछ का option होगा. ठीक है. तो yeah, just scroll down, submit. Submit का option है नहीं है. Just a second. अच्छा नीचे नहीं है. आई थिंक बस अपलोड करके आप सबमिट कर देंगे. So yeah, that's it. It's like I said, it's the first time we're using it, so there may be some problems, there may be some glitches. Yeah, submit. Yeah, ठीक है. So here's the submit button. Click that. Job done. ठीक है. Now, let's start discussing it. ठीक हो गया. Let's discuss it and let's see what's what. ठीक है. Achha, I will inshallah on my Instagram announce the top 3 or top 5. I'll see a lot of you have showed up and a lot of you are getting same marks. So top 3, top 5 inshallah मैं अपने Instagram पे announce करूँगा. ठीक है? So yeah, let's begin. Grade threshold का अभी छोड़ें, forget the grade threshold. ठीक है? Let's just solve. ठीक है? Grade threshold पे rely ना करें. Let's just solve. Okay? So just a minute, let me just get everything in order and then we will start. एक मिनट दे दो बस मुझे. Okay, now let's begin. So the first question. The first question is, write down the order of rotational symmetry of the diagram. So what is the rotational symmetry, guys? Acha, before I start, I'd appreciate if you guys like the channel, like the stream if you haven't done that yet, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Acha, dekho, whatever marks you've gotten, it's okay. There's plenty of, not plenty of time, but there is time. Okay. So please don't ask me to motivate you. Don't ask me to give you like tips. The best tip is just get to work. Okay. Use the time that you have left and just get to work. Yeah, you're right. Actually, screen is not visible. Terrible. Let me just fix that real quick. I think I know why. terrible. Let me fix that. Yeah, should be fine now. ठीक है. अगर Dropbox से पेपर किया तो of course बेटा वो submit नहीं होगा. मतलब कैसे submit होगा? Use your common sense. I don't understand why O-level students just refuse to use their common sense. Okay? If you do it through Dropbox, how will it be submitted? I mean, naturally it will be submitted or something like that. AI misread most of my text, dude. Well, if AI misread most of your text, then that probably means it's not readable. Okay, I'm afraid. And this is AI, guys. It's not a human. Okay, so please expect some error. Anyway, so the first question is, write down the order of rotational symmetry of the diagram. Pretty easy. It's going to be 2. Okay. Dora records the temperature at 6 a.m. every day for 7 days. All right. So what is the question asking? The question says, write these temperatures in order of size starting with the lowest. So I can see the smallest is -5. After that, there's -4. Then after that, there's -2. Then after that, there's -1. Then after that, there's 0. Then after that, there's 1. Then after that, there is 3. Okay. All right. Now, work out the difference between the highest and the lowest temperature. Now, highest and the lowest temperature, so that's 3 minus -5. What's that equal to? That's equal to 8. Yeah, Dora the Explorer. Find the median temperature. Okay, so the question is nice. It has already made you list everything in ascending order. And we can pretty much eyeball the median. We don't have to use the formula. We can see that this is the central term. -1 is right in the center. And we have 3 terms to the left, 3 terms to the right. So that means the median is -1. Okay, now. Let's see. Can someone please tell what? Please tell what? Total mark 101, beta. 101. Okay, now don't ask me why it's 101. Question 1 ka answer 2 hai. Acha, how is it 2? Beta, how many times will you get this shape if you rotate it a full 360 degrees? What does order of rotational symmetry mean? Order of rotational symmetry means that how many times will you get the full shape if you rotate it 360 degrees. ठीक है, इसको बिल्कुल इसके ऊपर मैप करते हैं. ठीक है, so take a mental screenshot of this. ठीक है, और इसको इसके बराबर रख लेते हैं. If I rotate it 180 degrees, I see the exact same shape. Then if I rotate it 360 degrees, I see the exact same shape. ठीक है, so if I rotate it twice, I can see the exact same shape. ठीक है, अच्छा बेटा, no cursing. ठीक है, I'm afraid I have to permanently hide you from my channel. ठीक है. Okay, now put one pair of brackets in each statement to make it correct. So one pair of brackets in each statement to make it correct. There is no rocket science. Please don't ask for tips once again. All you have to do is you have to do some trial and error. So I technically got 96. I didn't write my brackets at question 3, not fair. चलो कोई बात नहीं बेटा, ये actual CIE checking नहीं है. This was just to give you guys an idea of where you stand. Sir, yes, mock Pete ho jayega beta. I will announce on my Instagram. Nothing to worry about. Okay. So 6 divided by 8, that's 2 plus... No, that's not going to work. So I need to make sure I divide 16 with a number that's as large as possible. So let's try this. 16 divided by 8. Nope, that's not going to work. Let's try this. So 4 into 2, that's 8. 8 plus 8, that's 16. 16 divided by 16, that's equal to 1. There you go. Okay, now, then we have to... Okay, how about I do this? 16 divided by 8, that's 2. 4 into 2 is 8. 8 plus 2, nope, that's not going to work. Okay, how about I do this? 16 divided by... Nope, that's not going to work. So how about I put a bracket over here? 16 divided by 8, that is 2. 4 into 2 is 8. Nope, that's also not going to work. Okay, so let's try this. 16 divided by 8, that is 2. 2 plus 4, that's 6. 6 into 2, yep, that's going to work. So there you go. Okay. So there is no rocket science, no formula. Don't think that I know something that you don't. Just use common sense and some trial and error. How to draw rotation without tracing paper? Beta, paper घुमा के देख लो. Simple as that. ठीक है, just paper घुमा के देख लो. And just think about it. How many times will you rotate? Or again, use your common sense. If this is the center, okay, and if I rotate this 180 degrees, what will happen? This, if you rotate it 180 degrees, तो ये घूम के यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. ठीक है? And that means this will happen a total of twice in a full 360 degree rotation. Okay? Now, question number 4. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So we did this question recently when we were doing the transformation stream. So this is 90 degree. Now remember, it's A onto B. So A, B पे जाने के लिए क्या होगा? We can see that every point has been rotated 90 degree anti-clockwise. So it's 90 degree anti-clockwise. Okay, don't write ACW, write the whole thing. Achha, in fact, let's start with rotation. So we say that this is rotation 90 degree anti-clockwise, and we're kind of lucky that the center is origin. Center origin. Okay. Beta, next mock मैं अभी से नहीं बता सकता, ठीक है? Let's focus on the one that we just had. Next mock will be announced on my YouTube and on my Instagram. Okay? Simple. Now, triangle A onto triangle C. So triangle A onto triangle C is nothing but a translation. Let's see where this point goes. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units to the left. 1, 2, 3. 3 down. That's it. So that means this is a translation. And when you're writing translation, you have to write down the translation vector, and that's minus 6, minus 3. All right. Triangle A onto triangle D. A onto triangle D. How to find the center of rotation? I've already explained that. Okay, I've already explained how to find out the center of rotation. And no, it's not clockwise. It's going in this direction. Ghadi is direction mein to nahi chalti na beta. This is anti-clockwise. Okay. All right. Now, triangle A onto triangle D. So we start joining the points. Okay, remember this is enlargement. Okay, so we already know that it's enlargement, so might as well write what we know. So A onto D, that means D is the bigger shape, so it's definitely enlargement. Now when you write enlargement, the next thing you need to write down is the scale factor. So this is 3, this is 1. So enlargement with scale factor equals to 3. All right. And now, yeah, you can write 270 degree clockwise, but at this point I say, okay, don't you have enough problems in your life that why are you adding more? So scale factor is 3, and what about the center of enlargement? So the center of enlargement will be, okay, let's extend it a bit further. Let's extend this. Let's extend this. Okay. So my 6, 3. 6, 4 balke. 6, 4. And the center is 6, 4. Sir, I wrote part 3 enlargement of 3 scale factor, and I wrote triangle A onto D. So it is A onto D. Nope, scale factor is not minus 3 beta. When it's minus, the triangle gets rotated 180 degrees. Those of you struggling with transformation, I did a detailed stream of transformation. Please make sure to check it out. Now it's okay to struggle, but then what are you guys waiting for? ऐसे बैठे-बैठे तो concepts नहीं सीधे हो जाएंगे ना? So beta, watch the stream, learn transformation. It's something that will be tested. So what are you guys waiting for? So this is the line y equals to minus 1. All right. And it says on the grid, draw the image of triangle A after reflection in the line y equals to minus 1. Okay, so all you have to do is draw the image of A. So count how far it is from the line of reflection, and we're going to change. If it's up, let's bring it down. So 2 units up, let's bring it 2 units down. So here it is. 2 units up, bring it 2 units down. Here it is. 3 units up, bring it 3 units down. Here it is. There you go. So what do we call it? Do we call it something? No, we don't call it anything. So let's just write B and move on. ठीक हो गया? Now, let's do part 5. Write 216 as a product of its prime factors. So this is paper 1. That means you guys can't use your calculator. How long does it take for AI to check it? Not too long. Check ho jana chahiye. Probably like 5 minutes. So let's start dividing it by 2. So if I divide by 2, this is equal to 108. Let's divide it by 2. So this is equal to 54. Let's divide it by 2 once again. So it's going to be 27. And then after this, you know that it's going to be 3 times. Why? Because 27 is 3 cubed. ठीक हो गया? So when you're writing it as a product of its prime factors, that's going to be 2 cube into 3 cube. Okay. Sir, in part 3, I wrote 6, 4, but AI read it as 6, minus 4. चलो कोई बात नहीं बेटा, खैर हो गई, ठीक है. So just give yourself 1 mark, simple as that, okay? go off for a second. There you go. Sir, the only mark I lost came from actually forgetting to write the number after I wrote the word scale factor in the third part, Musali here. Chalo, koi baat nahi. You can mentally give yourself a perfect score. This paper was easy. As a parent, I would like to be more challenging for better practice records. Okay. Let me see what I can do. Anyway, I'm going to solve this. Now pay attention. Two positive integers are each greater than 25. I know for a fact that when I solve this question, all hell is going to break loose. Why? Because किसी को समझ नहीं आएगा, especially the ones who haven't done this topic. ठीक है? अच्छा guys, just give me 1 minute. I'm getting a call. It's important. I better take. Okay, now part B. Part B says two positive integers are each greater than 25. ठीक हो गया. The lowest common multiple of the two integers is 26. The highest common factor of the two integers is 18. Find the two integers. Okay, now the highest common factor of the two integers. Now, if you guys don't know this concept, we're not going to be able to solve it. Okay? If you don't know it, my advice, I've done streams on it. Make sure to check it out. Okay? It's probably the first topic that you guys do, first or second. Now, two positive integers are each greater than 25. The lowest common multiple of the two integers is 216. The highest common factor of the two integers is 18. Okay. If the highest common factor is 18, that means all these numbers come in the table of 18. Okay. So let's start listing factors of 18. Okay. Let's start listing factors of 18. So multiples of 18, sorry. Let's start listing multiples of 18. So one multiple of 18 is 18. The other multiple of 18 is 36. Then after that, there is 54. Then after that, there is 72. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब हमें क्या करना है? We have to do trial and error. Okay, we have to do trial and error. ठीक है? There's no other way to do it. Now we can cross out 18 from the list because the two integers are supposed to be greater than 25. Okay, let's do prime factorization of these three numbers. Okay, so let's rewrite 36 as a product of its prime factors. You can work it out mentally, or you can just figure it out yourself. Okay, I mean, you can use this prime factorization method. So 36 can be written as 2 square into 3 square. Yeah, 4 into 9, so that's 2 square into 3 square. 54 can be written as, so 54 can be written as 2 into 3 cube because it's 27 times 2. Yeah. Then let's write 72. 72 is only 36 times 2. So all you have to do is just add one more 2 in the prime factorization of 36. So it becomes 2 cube times 3 square. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब एक काम करते हैं. Let's look at the LCM of these two numbers. Okay, let's take these two numbers and let's look at their LCM. Now remember, LCM mein, it's the higher power that comes out on top. Okay. No, you can't submit the P1 mock right now for checking. Okay, time's up. So let's take the LCM, and when we're taking the LCM, what do we take? We take the highest powers. So if I compare these two numbers and I take the LCM, so who wins? 2 square or 2? 2 square wins. Okay. And then we have 3 square and 3 cube. Who wins? 3 cube wins. Is this equal to 216? Nope, it's not. This is not equal to 216. And how do I know this is not equal to 216? Here is the prime factorization of 216. Okay. Let's try these two numbers. Let's try 54 and 72. Let's take their LCM. If I take their LCM, we have 2 and 2 cube. Who wins? 2 cube wins. Then we have 3 cube and 3 square. Who wins? Okay, now remember, I'm comparing these two numbers, all right? Okay, so we're comparing the powers, the higher one wins. Why? Because we're taking out the LCM. So 2 and 2 cube, who wins? 2 cube wins. 3 cube and 3 square, who wins? 3 cube wins. So this is equal to 216. And while we're at it, let's take their HCF also. When we're taking out their HCF mein, what are we doing? We're taking out the smaller power. So if you look at 2 and 2 cube, who wins? 2 wins, okay? HCF mein, remember, we are looking at the smaller power. 3 cube and 3 square, who wins? 3 square. So what is this equal to? 2 into 3 square. What is that equal to? That is equal to 18. So that means the two numbers that we're looking for are in fact 54 and 72. Yeah, I've written 54 only. I haven't written 64. Where did I write 64? I haven't written 54. I haven't written 64 any. ठीक है, तो अच्छा, इसकी वीडियो अगर आप लोगों को देखनी है तो look for LCM HCF. Okay, look for LCM HCF. ये शायद आपको 64 लग रहा हो, but this is 54. Okay. अच्छा, if you guys can't see your marks, just wait. You will get your marks. Okay, if you've done everything correctly, you will see your marks shortly. Not a problem. Okay, now question number 6. Why not 65? Beta, 65 is not. अच्छा बेटा, I think आप सिर्फ troll कर रहे हो. So I'm afraid I will have to do something about it. Put you in timeout. 18. Acha, why did I pick these numbers? I picked these numbers because the question said that the highest common factor of these two integers is 18. If the highest common factor is 18, what does that mean? That means that the numbers are multiples of 18. Okay, if I tell you that the highest common factor of two numbers is 18, that means all these numbers are multiples of 18. So you start writing down multiples of 18 and then you start comparing these numbers. See किन दो numbers का LCM 216 आता है और किन दो numbers का HCF 18 आता है. Okay, now next question. Question number 6, kinematics. Let's see what it says. Calculate the acceleration for the first 2 minutes of Sam's journey. Achha, what are we looking at? We're looking at a speed time graph. The diagram shows the speed time graph of Sam's journey from home to work. Calculate the acceleration for the first 2 minutes. Giving an answer in meter per second square. 2 minutes ka matlab 120 seconds. Now what is acceleration equal to? Acceleration is basically equal to change in speed upon change in time, or simply the gradient of the speed time graph. So that's 20 minus 0 over 120 minus 0. So 20 upon 120, that's equal to 1 upon 6. No need to write it in decimal. Just write it in fraction form and move on. Don't make your life more miserable than I'm sure it already is. Okay, now. Part B. Calculate Sam's average speed for the whole journey. Give it answer in meter per second. Okay, average speed means what? Average speed means total distance upon total time. Okay, average speed is equals to total distance upon total time. Now, how will I calculate the total distance? Yeah, beta, it rejected your answer because the correct answer was... it rejected your answer because the correct answer was 1 upon 6 only. Okay. Achha beta, when you submit, so just wait. It will show you your marks. Okay. If you don't see your marks immediately, thoda wait kar lo. Just be patient. You will see your marks. सामने ही आएंगे ज़ाहिर marks कोई आपको email पे भी ऐसे report आएगी आपको. ठीक है. Maybe check your email, you'll get a report. But ज़ाहिर है कोई घर पे तो नहीं deliver करने आएगा आपके marks. Just wait, you will see it there. Okay. All right, now let's see. How do I calculate the total distance from this graph? It's basically area of trapezium. Okay, how do I calculate the area of trapezium? Half into sum of parallel lengths into height. So what will be the sum of parallel lengths? It's going to be half into 600 plus what will this be equal to? 480 minus 120, that's 360. Is that correct? Yeah. So total distance is equals to area under the graph. So half into sum of parallel lengths. The sum of parallel lengths will be 600 plus 360. So 600 plus 360 into the height. What is that equal to? That's equal to 20 divided by the total time. What's the total time? As per the graph, it's equal to 600. Okay. So 2 ones are 2. 2 tens are 20. Cross out the 0. So 60 plus 360, that's 960 divided by 60. Cross this out. 6 divided by 96. That is equal to 16 meters per second. That's it. Now, question number 7. A, B, C, and D lie on the circle center O. TA is tangent to the circle at A. Angle ABC is equals to 131 and angle ADB is equals to 20 degrees. ठीक हो गया? Find angle ADC. All right, ADC. First, let's identify which angle is that. That's this angle. Okay, so what are we dealing with? If you look at ABCD, we're dealing with a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, we are dealing with a cyclic quadrilateral. So if we are dealing with a cyclic quadrilateral, अच्छा बेटा ये 64 जो आप बोल रहे हो 64 18 का मल्टीपल नहीं है बेटा. I don't understand why you guys find it so difficult to read the question. It has to be a multiple of 18. 64 is not a multiple of 18. ठीक है. अब आगे आपको समझ मुर्तज़ा गेमिंग 64 इसलिए नहीं होगा. अब बेशक आपके स्कूल में सब ने मॉक में लिखा हो, that does not mean that it's the right answer. Okay, it's not a multiple of 18, therefore it's not the right answer. ठीक है. Now, please stop spamming. So here's what we have to do. 180 minus 131. It's a 1 mark question. No need to show any working. 180 minus 131. What's that equal to? That's equal to 49 degrees. 49 degrees. Okay, now. Acha, beta Murtaza, I don't understand why you're arguing. So I'm afraid the solution to this is to just make sure you can't send another message. Now, AOC. AOC is this angle. ठीक है? अच्छा. AOC will be double the angle of the circumference. ठीक है? No, we will not subtract 20 because the question says ADC. That's this angle. Okay? ADC is this angle. So why will I subtract 20? Again, better read the question. AOC. So AOC is this angle. Okay, and we can see that we have one angle at the... Okay, wait a minute. So this is 49 that we just worked out. Okay. So what's the property that we're going to use? The property is angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Okay. Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Notice के इसी आर्क के सामने एक एंगल सेंटर पे बन रहा है, एक एंगल सर्कमफ्रेंस पे बन रहा है. So angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So we're going to do 49 times 2, which is equal to 98. That's it. Okay. Now, BAT. BAT will be 20 degrees. Once again, I know people will have no clue about this property क्योंकि ना वो effort करते हैं और ना समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. So this property is known as the alternate segment property. And here's how it works. Yep, the chord and tangent property. So here is 20 degrees. Look at the chord opposite to it and see what angle the tangent is making with that chord. Okay, this is known as the alternate segment property. If you don't know this, you're not going to be able to solve this question. You'll probably think that this is a property that you don't know. I was going to say probably think this is a property you don't know, but yeah, this is a property that you don't know. So look at the angle 20, look at the chord opposite to it and see the angle the tangent makes with the chord. That is also 20 degrees. Okay, this is known as, I'll mention over here, alternate segment theorem बोलते हैं इसको. ठीक है, इस पे वीडियोस मौजूद हैं, जाके देख लो. You're not supposed to mention it, let me be clear, I'm just writing for your reference. Okay, now angle AOAB. Angle OAB. Nahi beta, I can't explain it briefly. There are plenty of extensive videos. Go check them out. OA. No, wait, do we have to draw this? OAB. OAB. Okay, let's see what we can do for this. So, what we can do for this, by the way, will be this angle. OAB. क्या कर सकते हैं? Can we find out this angle? Let me see if we can find out this angle. Oh yeah, we can find out this angle. This is a radius and tangent. Radius and tangent, when they meet, they make a 90-degree angle. Okay, radius and tangent, when they meet, they make a 90-degree angle. So what's that equal to? That's equal to 70 degrees. Okay, now I see some of you are saying, why can't B be 180 minus 31? But this is not a cyclic quadrilateral. This is a very common mistake. This is not a cyclic quadrilateral. For it to be a cyclic quadrilateral, all four vertices have to be touching the circumference. O is not touching the circumference, so you can't use this property. ठीक है, कौन कह रहा है ये? Minahil and someone else also. ठीक है? You can't do 180 minus 31 because this angle is not touching the circumference. Remember, a cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral with all four sides touching the circumference. Okay? Now, question number 8. By drawing suitable lines and shading the unwanted regions, find the region R where x is greater than or equal to 2, y is greater than or equal to x, and 2x plus y is lesser than or equal to 8. वो effort करते हैं ना समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. Okay. But I am not here to explain alternate segment theorem. There are plenty of videos on it. Make sure to check them out. ठीक है? I can't just explain something briefly. Briefly समझाऊंगा बेटा तो आपको नहीं समझ आएगी. Okay, so x is greater than or equal to 2 means that we want the line x equals to 2. Y is greater than or equal to x means that we want the line y equals to x. Now y equals to x ke liye no need to put in a lot of effort. Y equals to x is a line where every y coordinate is the same as the x coordinate. So just mark these points and join them. But as far as 2y plus x equals to 8 is concerned, for this we will have to first make y the subject. So y is equals to minus 2x plus 8. And a good idea would be to substitute a few random values of x. Just make sure that these are values that you can mark on the grid and then draw the straight line. Okay, like for example, I'm going to plug in 0. If I plug in x as 0, y turns out to be 8. And if I plug in y as 0, okay, if I plug in y as 0, x turns out to be 4. So what happens is we get endpoints. We get the x-intercept and we get the y-intercept. We don't need any points in between, but if you want to find out points in between, you can do that. You will get the same answer. So I wanted a little advice on A2 maths. I have very little time for left one. Can I just do the topics that makes us in class? Beta, don't look for shortcuts. I'm not here to give you advice on shortcuts. If you have very little time, my advice to you would be, this is probably the 5th time that you've sent this message. That means you've already wasted like 10 minutes trying to look for an answer. So simple advice, don't be stupid, don't be silly, just use the time that you have. There's plenty of content online and cover the syllabus. Simple as that. ठीक है? Stop wasting time. Simple as that. अगर एक पूरे महीने जवाब नहीं मिलेगा तो पूछते रहोगे क्या? नहीं ना? So get up, do something about it, and that's it. ठीक है? If you send this message one more time, I'm afraid I'll have to hide you. Okay? Now, the point P lies in the region R. The coordinates of P are a comma b. Write down the largest possible value of a comma b. Achha, first of all, let's shade. Shading करते हैं. X is greater than or equal to 2. Achha, what is the question saying? Read the question carefully. It's saying that by shading the unwanted regions. Unwanted region means that you shade opposite of what the inequality says. If the inequality says greater, you shade lesser. Okay? So basically, you're canceling out the region that you don't want. That's what you're doing basically, okay? Now, so it says unwanted, so I'm going to shade this region. Greater than or equal to 2 means on the right side, so we're going to shade the region that's on the left side. Okay? Y is greater than or equal to x, that means the region above, but we are shading the unwanted region, that means we're shading the region below. ठीक हो गया? Okay. Then it says 2y plus 2x plus y is lesser than or equal to it. That means the region below this line. So where are we going to shade? We're going to shade above this line. Okay, now, after this, the question says the point P lies in the region R. So where is region R? Region R is the region that is safe from all the shading. The only region that's safe from all the shading is this region. So here I'm going to write R and then I'm going to circle it nicely. Okay. So I'm asking, how did you drew the line y is equal to y equals to x means that whatever is the x coordinate, that's the y coordinate. Okay, so just mark points. If x is 1, y is 1. Just अगर आपको नहीं समझ आया, just make a table, plug in x values, get corresponding y values. Okay. Now, the point P lies in the region R. The coordinates of P are a comma b. Write down the largest possible value of a plus b. Okay, so let's pick a point where we can and also understand the coordinates of a comma. So that means I think we can take decimal values. The question does not restrict us. Does the question say? I think the greatest possible value will be because of this point. So if I look at this point has coordinates 2, 4. Okay, any other point that I take? So for example, if I take this will be 2 point something, not going to work. So the region R, by the way, will be the region that is inside the triangle and on the line as well. Okay, so the region on the line and in the triangle is included. Why? Because all these inequalities have equal to sign with them. So 2, 4, and we have to find out the greatest possible value. So that means the x coordinate plus the y coordinate, that's equal to 6. Okay, so you need to look for a point where if you add their coordinates together, x coordinate and y coordinate, you get the largest possible answer. Okay, how will we shade in the exam? Use a pencil. When do we have to make a dotted line? When there is no equal to sign in the question. Okay. Now, let's do question number 9. A cylinder with radius 2 cm and height h cm has the same volume as a sphere with radius 3 cm. Find the value of h. Okay, a cylinder with radius 2, that means its volume will be pi r square h. ठीक हो गया. Has the same volume as a sphere with radius 3 cm. So that's going to be 4 upon 3 pi r cube. That means 3 cubed. Okay, now this is paper 1. This is non-calculator. That means it's designed to be done without a calculator. So don't think you can't do this without a calculator. So we have 4h, which is equal to 4 into 27. 4 upon 3 into 27. So 4 and 4 cancel. 3 ones are 3, 3 nines are 27, so h is equals to 9. Okay, this is mensuration. Okay, didn't get part B. Part B में बेटा आपने करना है ये. Once you've identified the region R, look for the point inside this region or maybe on the boundary line of this region such that when you add the coordinates of that point together, you get the greatest value possible. ठीक है? Now, part B, a solid metal cube with length 20 centimeter. The cube, beta, I don't know what year this is. Okay, this is a mix of multiple years. So don't ask me what year this is. This is mix. Question number 8 is from graphs of inequalities. So question number 9 from mensuration. A solid metal cube has sides 20. The cube is melted into 40 solid spheres, each of radius r centimeter. Okay, now, Mustafa, you can take the decimal value, but you will not get the greatest answer. ठीक है, आप कौन सी decimal value लोगे which will give you the greatest answer? It's not possible. Okay. What does the greatest possible value mean? Greatest possible value means that when you add them, the sum should be as great as possible. That's what it means. Okay. Now, what will remain the same? Question for you guys. When you melt one solid and turn it into another, so what remains the same? When you melt one solid and you make another, what remains the same? The volume or the surface area? The volume. Okay. when you melt one solid and make another, the volume remains the same. ठीक है, ये बात याद रखना. Area might change, but the volume remains the same. Okay, so the cube is melted down. That means the volume of the cube was 20 times 20 times 20, or simply 20 cube. ठीक है? And made into 40 solid spheres. So that means 40 into 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Our job is to find out the value of r. Basically form an expression for r. Okay? So 20 cube, that's 8,000. No, that's going to be 8,000. So 8,000 is equals to 40 into 4 upon 3 pi r cube. So let's simplify. Let's cross out the zeros first. 4 ones are 4. 4 twos are 8, 0, 0. Let's cross multiply. 200 into 3, that's 600. So 600 is equals to 4 pi r cube. I think 600 is divisible by 4. 4 ones are 4. 4 ones are 4, 2 carry. 4 fives are 20, 0 as it is. So that means pi r cube is equals to 150, which leads to the conclusion that r cube is equals to 150 upon pi, which further leads to the conclusion that r is equals to cube root of 150 upon pi. Okay, so ये question solve करने के लिए बिल्कुल भी मेहनत करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Why? Because everything is given. The formulas are given. Although I did not give you guys the formula sheet. Okay, next time I'll give you guys the formula sheet also. But the formula sheet is given. Everything's given. All you have to do is equate them, make r the subject. So this is less of a mensuration question, more of an algebraic manipulation question. Okay. All right. Now, a solid cylinder has radius x centimeter and height 7x upon 2 centimeter. The surface area of a sphere with radius r centimeter is equal to the total surface area of the cylinder. Express r in terms of x. Okay. So the surface area of a sphere with radius r, that will be 4 pi r square, is equal to the total surface area of the cylinder. Now it says solid, that means everything's intact. Base, everything is just intact. Okay. Now, so 4 pi r square is equals to 2 pi. So what's the radius of the circle? That's 2 pi x squared. You can remember the total surface area of a cylinder is equals to 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Okay. So 2 pi x square plus 2 pi, r की जगह क्या आएगा? r की जगह x आएगा, और height की जगह क्या आएगा? 7 upon 2x आएगा. Okay. Now, keep your eyes on the prize. You have to make r the subject. So 2 and 2 cancel हो गया. ठीक है. Let's keep this as it is for now. 4 pi r square is equals to 2 pi x square plus 7 pi x square. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 pi x square is equals to 4 pi r square. Pi and pi cancel. R is equals to 9x square upon 4. Is that correct? I think so. I don't see why not. Oh, this is r square. Now, to find out the value of r, we'll have to take the square root on both sides. When you do take the square root on both sides, the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of x is x, the square root of 4 is 2. So that means the final answer is 3x upon 2. Okay. Hello sir, back on as an audible. I to watch your video. Thank you. Where to submit the mock? But about there, okay? We're not collecting submissions anymore. Okay. 3x upon 2, not 3x upon 4. Okay, question number 10. H of 3. H of 3 basically means 4 cube. In the inequality question, what if the give is greater than? Yep, if the equal to sign was not included, then you will not consider points on the line. So 4 cube is 64. That's it. Find f of g of 1. Okay, so g of 1 is equals to 1 square plus 1, which is equal to 2. And then f of g of 1 basically now means f of 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is equals to 8. There we go. Find g of f of x in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So g of f of x, that means we plug in function f. ये कहाँ से आ गया भाई? Where is this from? Yeah. So g of f of x means that we plug in f in function g. So function f in function g means 3x plus 2, the whole thing square in place of x. That's why we're squaring it, plus 1. So I wrote 11 instead of 9. Will I get 0 marks? Of course you'll get 0 marks. Okay, don't be too generous. So you have 9x squared plus 12x plus 4 plus 1, which means 9x squared plus 12x plus 5. Okay, so make sure to give the answer space. Make sure to give the marks in the answer space. Okay. Find x when f of x equals to g of 7. Okay, f of x means 3x plus 2, and this is equal to what? This is equal to g of 7. G of 7 means 7 square plus 1. Okay, so 3x plus 2 is equals to 7 square, that's 49. 49 plus 1 is 50. 3x is equals to 48, which means x is equals to 48 upon 3, that's equal to 16. All right, f inverse of x. Asan paper yaar. I think I made the paper too easy. I'll probably make paper too difficult. What do you guys think? Where the 12x came? Why am I not surprised? A plus b, the whole thing square, beta, is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So y is equals to 3x plus 2. Let's make x the subject. Y minus 2 equals to 3x, which means y minus 2 upon 3 equals to x. So f inverse of x is equals to x minus 2 upon 3. Okay, now let me see what is next. Make the next paper more difficult. Yeah, I'm planning to. G of x upon f of x plus x. Give your answer. अभी तक जान नहीं छोड़ी इस सवाल ने. Okay. चलो कोई बात नहीं. G of x upon f of x plus x. So g of x क्या है? X square plus 1. X square plus 1 upon f of x. That is 3x plus 2 plus x. Okay, now 3x plus 2 times x will be the LCM. Okay, so that means iska denominator 1 hai. We're not going to do anything to x square plus 1. We'll let that be as it is. And then we'll have to multiply this with 3x plus 2. This also gets multiplied by 3x plus 2. So that's going to be plus 3x square plus 2x. So will my marks for AS Math be 1 mark if I submit now? I have a time zone difference. Check it out. I'm not sure. Okay, check it out. X square plus 3x square, that's equal to 4x square plus 2x plus 1 upon 3x square plus 2x. ठीक हो गया? Yeah, I'm wondering, 3x plus 2 only. Wait, I was wondering there's something wrong. 3x plus 2. Okay, now, what about part G? How many of you were able to solve part G? I'm pretty sure after this, you guys would have started complaining about your teacher. Oh, our teacher did not make us solve this. H inverse of x is equals to 2. H inverse of x. बेटा redo करने से बेहतर है कि आप वो वीडियो दोबारा देख लो. ठीक है? Just you can always watch a certain part of the stream again. ठीक है? All you have to do is take out the LCM, which is going to be 3x plus 2, write x squared plus 1 as it is, multiply this with 3x plus 2, multiply this with 3x plus 2, then simplify, okay? Now, please don't make the mistake of using logs. Okay, don't make the mistake of using logs. It's a total waste of time. So, h inverse of x is equals to 2. See, when does a function become inverse? When does sine become sine inverse? When you take it across the equals to sign, right? When you take it across the equals to sign, it becomes inverse. So That means if it is inverse already, if I take it across the equals to sign, what will happen? It will become x is equals to h of 2. Okay. See, if you remember, sine x, for example, is equals to 0.5. What happens to x? If I want to find out the value of x becomes sine inverse of 0.5. If I go in the opposite direction, it's going to become sine x equals to 0.5. Okay. So x is equals to h of 2, which means x is equals to 4 square. And what's that equal to? That's equal to 16. That's it. All right. Yeah, I have made a video of functions in which I've explained this. So once again, we have a question related to LCM HCF. It's asking to write 12p square. It's basically less of a LCM HCF question and it's more of an indices question. 12 into p square. 12 into p square basically means 12 into p, which is 2 power 10 into 3 power 8 into 7 power 5. And then we have to square it. Disgusting question. Okay, now, so the power on 2 becomes 20. The power on 3 becomes 16. The power on 7 becomes 10. And don't forget, so please tell the topic in which we had to find two integers, that's LCM HCF beta. It's LCM HCF, इसको numbers भी बोलते हैं, but it's usually LCM HCF, perfect square, perfect cubes, ये होता है. And at the same time, don't forget that since you have to write it as a product of its prime factors, that means you need to rewrite 12 as a product of its prime factors. So what is 12 written as a product of its prime factors? That is 2 square times 3. Okay, so this is what 12 looks like when written as a product of its prime factors. So this becomes 2 square into 3 into 2 power 20 into 3 power 16 as it is into 7 power 10. So same bases are multiplied, powers are added, which means we have 2 to the power 22, not 2 to the power 23. I can see someone wrote 2 power 23, so it's 2 to the power 22. Then 3 into 3 power 16 becomes 3 raised to the power 17 and then 7 power 10. That's it. I squared all the values instead of multiplying them with 2. Nope, that's not going to work because you have to write them as a product of its prime factors. Okay? You haven't done anything wrong, Zoya, but it's not going to work because you have to write them as a product of its prime factors. Sir, can you explain part G again? Dekho, part G, just remember when the function goes across the equals to sign, it becomes inverse, which means what if it's already inverse and I take it across the equals to sign? It's just going to become the regular function. Okay? Yeah, no doubt this was a cheeky question. Okay, question number 12. Pretty basic and easy vectors question. Let's see what it says. In the diagram, O is the origin and OT is equals to 2 times of TD. OT equals to 2 times of TD, ठीक है. M is the midpoint of TC, ठीक है. OC is equals to C and OD is equal to D. Yep, part G is part of O levels, beta. ठीक है, इसमें ऐसी क्या rocket science है जो O levels का part नहीं है? It is part of O levels. Okay. Find the position vector of M. Now when it says position vector of M, that means we have to find OM. Okay. Now, let's see how I can find out M. So how many marks is this? 3 marks. So I'm thinking OT plus TM. क्या ख्याल है? OT plus TM. Unless you have a better idea, तो ठीक है, वरना OT plus TM should do the job. Okay. So let's focus on finding OT. Achha. अब notice that we are given that OT is equals to 2 times of TD. This means OT and TD. अब the problem is कि ना हमें OT पता है ना हमें TD पता है. What we know is OD. OC plus CM. That's not exactly a better idea. ठीक है. So here's what we can do. OT upon TD अगर हम लिखें, so that's going to be 2:1. Okay, so I repeat. If you shift TD under OT, So this becomes OT upon TD, which is equal to 2:1. That means OT is 2 parts, TD is 1 part. Okay, so that means the total vector has been split into 3 parts. So OT becomes 2/3 of the total, which is, and the total is D, and TD becomes 1/3 of the total. So that is 1/3 D. ठीक हो गया? Okay, now. अच्छा, अब हम एक काम करते हैं. TM निकाल लेते हैं. TM will be half of TC. Okay, so OT तो आ गया ना, अब TM पे फोकस करते हैं. TM will be half of TC. Okay, TC क्या होगा? TC निकाल लेते हैं. TC will be TO plus OC. Okay, so TC will be TO plus OC. So that means minus 2 upon 3 D, because we're going in the opposite direction. So TO will be minus 2 upon 3 D plus OC, that means plus C. Okay, now it's time to put it all together. So OM is equals to OT, which is 2/3 of D. ठीक है. प्लस TM. अच्छा, इसका हाफ तो किया ही नहीं. ओह, इसका हाफ तो किया ही नहीं. वही मैं कहूँ कुछ गड़बड़ है. प्लस minus 1 upon 6 D plus half C. ठीक है? Okay, now. So, just a minute. Let's see how we can simplify this further. So 2 upon 3C plus 1 upon 2C. ठीक है, इसको simplify करते हैं. So isn't it 2 upon 3? Oh yeah, it's going to be 2 upon 3, sorry. No, it's going to be, sorry. Let me do this again. Sorry. Let's do it again. Let me just solve it again from here. ठीक है, I just confused myself. Okay. So TM is equals to half of TC. ठीक है? So let's find out TM. So TM is equals to half of TC means that we're going to go from T to O, which is going to be minus 2 upon 3 D plus O to C, which is going to be equal to C. Okay? So TM becomes half into minus 2 upon 3, so that's going to be minus 1 upon 3 D plus half C. Ab sahi hai. Now it's time to put it all together. So OM will be equal to OT plus TM. OT we've already worked out. That's 2 upon 3D plus minus 1 upon 3D plus half C. Okay, so 2 upon 3 minus 1 upon 3 is equals to 1 upon 3. So this becomes 1 upon 3D plus 1 upon 2C. Okay, it's all positive, no negative. 1 upon 3D plus 1 upon 2C. Sorry. There you go. Okay, I'll give a summary of this again. So, सबसे पहले, we use this ratio OT is equals to 2 times of AD. Right? OT upon 2 TD, you get 2:1. That means OT is 2 parts, TD is 1 part. That means OT is 2/3 of the total, since the total vector has been split into 3 parts, and TD is 1/3 of the total. Okay? Now, you can simplify by taking 6 as the LCM, but there's no need to do that. Okay, if you've written it with the LCM, that's okay, no problem. Then the question says, M is the midpoint of TC. So we know that these are the two vectors that we want. So हमने कहा कि TM निकालते हैं. कैसे निकालेंगे TM? We're going to take half of TC. So for TC, we go from TO to TM. Okay, so this is TO plus OC. So TO is minus 2/3 D plus C. Here it is. We take half of it. This is what we end up with. Now it's time to put all the information together, because we have OT, we have TM. OM is equals to OT, which is 2/3 of D, plus Tm, which is equal to all this, simplify, get the answer. Okay, now cube root of y square is equals to x raised to the power of 1 upon 6. Such a cube root means y raised to the power 2 upon 3. Okay, and 6th root of x means x raised to the power 1 upon 6. And according to the question, you have to make y the subject. Okay, according to the question, you have to make y the subject. Beta 2 upon 3 ऐसे आया that OT is 2/3 of the total. ठीक है? Now, this means that I have to get rid of the powers on y. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब मुझे बताओ कि if you have a fraction and you want to get rid of it, okay, if there is a fraction and you want to get rid of it, you want to make that fraction equal to 1, तो आप उसको किससे multiply करोगे? Imagine that there is 3 upon 4. मैं आपसे कहूँ इसको एक ऐसे मैजिक फ्रैक्शन से मल्टीप्लाई करो एंड के आंसर 1 आ जाए. कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट दैट मैजिक फ्रैक्शन इज गोइंग टू बी? व्हाट इज द मैजिक फ्रैक्शन दैट यू नीड टू मल्टीप्लाई 3 upon 4 with so that the answer is equal to 1? Not a lot of rocket science here. Inverse, basically 4 upon 3. You need to multiply it with 4 upon 3. Okay, now why? So that 4 and 4 cancel, 3 and 3 cancel. अच्छा, अब मुझे बताओ, if you have 2 upon 3, what do you need to multiply 2 upon 3 with so that the answer is equal to 1? Okay, if you have 2 upon 3 with, what do I multiply 2 upon 3 with so that the answer is equal to 1? 3 upon 2, that's correct. Why? Because when you multiply it with 3, this it cancels. When you multiply it by 2, this cancels. Okay, simple common sense. So if I wish to make the power 1 on y, that means I better raise it to the power of 3 upon 2 on the left and the power of 3 upon 2 on the right. Okay. So let's do that. And what's the objective? The objective is not so that we look for random. It's not that we've randomly decided to do that. We've decided so that we can make the power on y 1. Okay. So y is equals to x raised to the power 1 upon 6 into 3 upon 2, which means y is equals to x raised to the power 3 upon 12, which further means that y is equals to x raised to the power 1 upon 4. What does this mean? This means that the power on x is 1 and we are taking its 4th root. Okay, remember this rule. A power m upon n means a power m and you're taking his nth root. I noticed Sir Zain was streaming indices. I think it was yesterday or day before. So I would advise you, agar aapka topic week hai, I advise you guys to check it out. So n is equals to 4. ठीक हो गया? Now, rationalize the denominator, giving your answer in its simplest form. Very simple. Multiply the numerator with under root 6 minus 1. Multiply the denominator with under root 6 minus 1 also. So this becomes 45 under root 6 minus 45. And the denominator में हमेशा एक ही चीज़ लगेगी, which is a square minus b square. Whenever you're simplifying, remember in the denominator, and if you're rationalizing, you always get a square minus b square. So the numerator remains the same. It's going to be 45 root 6 minus 45. The denominator is going to be 6 minus 1, which is equal to 5. Now let's simplify. Let's write 45 root 6 upon 5 separately minus 45 upon 5. So 45 upon 5, that's 9. 9 under root 6 minus 9. Yeah, you guys can download this mock. There is a link in description. वहाँ से आपको मिल जाएगा. ठीक है? So yeah. Question number 15. Tanya plants some seeds. The probability that a seed will produce flowers is 0.8. When a seed produces flowers, the probability that the flower is red is 0.6. And the probability that the flower is red is 0.3. Okay, you only find people like these in math questions. Achha, the probability that she will plant is 0.8. So that means the probability that she doesn't is 0.2. In case anyone's wondering how I got this, simply subtracted from 1. सर मैंने y में शुरू में कर दिया. ठीक है, शुरू में करो, एंड में करो, एक ही बात है बेटा. It does not matter. Okay, now. When a seed produces flower, the probability that it's red is 0.6. The probability that... Achha, wait, part A to hai. Tanya has a seed that produces flowers. Find the probability that the flowers are not red and not yellow. Not red and not yellow, that means 0.6 plus 0.3, subtract this from 1, so you get 0.1. Simple as that. So 0.6, 0.3, not red and not yellow is 0.1. Find the probability that a seed chosen at random produces flowers. Okay. So how do we do this? Find the probability that the seed produces flowers. How many ways can that happen? How many ways is it possible that the seed produces flowers? 0.8 into 0.6, red flower aa gaya. 0, yeah, if you write it as a fraction, that's okay, no problem. 0.8 into 0.3, yellow flower aa gaya, or 0.8 into 0.1. ठीक हो गया? Okay. Let's work this out. Let's see what we get. 0.48, 0.24, 0.08. Achha, it says red flowers. Oh, it says red. I thought it only said, wait, Miko. Okay, sorry, my bad. Only red. So that's going to be 0.48. Okay, now. Tanya chooses a seed. Find the probability that this seed does not produce red flowers and does not produce yellow flowers. So if it's not producing red or yellow, then which flower is it producing? That means it's producing 0.8 into 0.1. 0.8 into 0.1. Okay. It says does not produce red flowers and does not produce yellow flowers. Okay. So does not produce red, does not produce yellow. Okay. तो एक काम करते हैं. Let's do one thing. या बल्कि ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. I think that would be longer. So 0.8 into 0.1, what is that equal to? That's equal to 0.08. But I'm pretty sure that's not the answer. Why? Because एक possibility ये भी है that it does not produce red or yellow is that the seed does not produce flowers at all. Okay, so even if it's not produced flower at all, that still means it hasn't produced red or yellow. So 0.8 into 0.01 plus 0.2. Okay, 0.8 into 0.1 plus 0.2. Why? Because this is the probability that the seed does not produce flower, which is that the seed does not produce red and does not produce yellow. Okay, nahi bhi agar produce kara, that still means it hasn't produced red or yellow. And then 0.8 into 0.1. So if it does produce a flower, what is the probability that it's neither red nor yellow? That's 0.1. So 0.8 into 0.1. Okay? And then 0.2. So this will be 0.08 plus 0.2. That's 0.28. Okay? Two of the seeds are chosen at random. Find the probability that one produces flowers and one does not produces flower. So 0.8 into 0. अच्छा किस फ्लावर की बात हो रही है? Two of the seeds are chosen at random. ठीक है. Find the probability that one produces flower and one does not produce flower. Okay. So the probability that it produces flower is 0.8. The probability that it does not produce flower is 0.2. Okay. So this can happen two ways. 0.8 into 0.2. Okay, so produce and not produce, or it can happen the opposite way, 0.2 into 0.8. Okay, those seeds are आपके सामने. The probability that one produces flower is 0.8. The probability that one doesn't is 0.2. Okay. But what if you don't select them in that order? What if you select them in the opposite order? So you have to consider the opposite order as well. Okay, or simply find out 1 and multiply by 2. So this is going to be 0.16 times 2. That's 0.32. Okay. Now. Question number 16. The diagram shows the radius of a circle the diagram shows a circle of radius 3 centimeter. The minor sector angle is 100. Calculate the area of the major sector, giving your answer in terms of pi. Okay, major sector means that this sector. And the angle for this sector will be 260 degrees. So 260 divided by 360 multiplied by pi into 3 squared. So 3 square is 9. Chalo, isko simplify kar lete hain, no calculator. 26 upon 36 into 9 pi. 9 ones are 9, 9 fours are 36. 26 upon 2 is 13, so 13 upon 2 pi. Okay, now. Part 2. Part 2 says, write this in completed square form. Okay, how do we write this in completed square form? First write x square minus 6, leave a bit of space, write minus 19. ठीक है, अब जिन लोगों को ये नहीं आता होगा, they'll probably think that I'm doing something that's out of syllabus. ठीक है, this is not out of syllabus, this is something that you guys should know. This is completing square. So what do we do to bring this in completed square? We add 3 square and then we also subtract 3 square. Are students allowed to use? No, you can't use any radian formula. So this becomes x minus 3, the whole thing square, and minus 19 minus 9. What is that equal to? That's equal to minus 28. Yeah, that's equal to minus 28. Okay, can't use a calculator. Minus 19 minus 8 is minus 28. So x minus 3, the whole thing square, minus 28. That's the answer. Using your answer to part A, write down the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. Okay, turning point of the graph means that we're comparing it with A, x minus h, the whole thing square plus k. So h is equals to 3 and the y coordinate of the turning point is minus 28. Okay, okay, question number 17. Gray squares and white square are used to make pattern in a sequence. The first 3 patterns are used to make... Achha, h will be positive 3, okay, not negative 3. Alright, so we have to shade. तो कोई बात नहीं, shade कर देते हैं, इसमें क्या tension है. ये shade होगा, ठीक है, और center से T बनेगा ना basically. So you'll have to shade this. ठीक है, अब मैं ज़रा थोड़ा casually shade कर रहा हूँ, exam में ऐसे नहीं करना. Okay. Sir, can we write? Yeah, you can do that. Yes, it is very important that you know completing square. Whether it's O-levels or IGCSE, completing square is part of the syllabus, guys. So then the question says, complete the table. So 4, 7, 10, the next will be 13, then after that will be 16. You can see that there is a difference of 2. Then there is a difference of 6, then there is a difference of 10. Number of white squares, hum count bhi kar lete hain to be on the safe side. So the total number of squares, as you can see, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 5s are 45. अच्छा, अब 45 में से 13 are shaded. That means what is 45 minus 13? That's equal to 3, 32. So that's 32. ठीक हो गया? Okay. And what's the difference? The difference between 18 and 32 is 14, which means that this is a quadratic sequence. And the next term that we will add, as you can see, the difference is 4. The difference once again is 4. And then the difference once again between these two terms will be 4. So that means I will add 18 and 32 plus 18 is equals to 50. Acha, answer what, Arush? Sir, in question 14, can we take 9 common to simplify more? Question number 14. Can we take 9 common? No, no. Even if you do take it common, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay? आप लिख सकते हो, but don't do anything with the 9. It's going to remain there. Write an expression in terms of n for the number of gray squares. So that's 4, 7, 10, 13. The first term is 4. The common difference is 3. So 4 plus n minus 1 into 3. This becomes 3n plus 1. Simple. Write an expression in terms of n for the number of white squares. Okay, how many marks is this? It's 2 marks. Okay, white square के लिए हम एक काम करते हैं. Let me see if we can find a shortcut. I don't think we can. So एक काम करते हैं. Let's do it the longer way. So that's 2, 8, 18. And the longer way is also not that long. If you think about it, it's not that long. So the first term is 2. Okay, the formula that I'm using is this. A plus n minus 1 into d1 plus d2 upon 2 into n minus 1 into n minus 2. Okay, I know इसका answer simplify होके काफ़ी disappointing होगा, but so be it. Okay, and n minus 1, n minus 2 become n square minus 3n plus 2. If you don't know this formula, please watch my number sequence stream to understand what this is. Okay. So that's 2 plus n minus 1. And the first difference is 6. So that's 6. The difference of the difference is 4. So 4 upon 2 into n square minus 3n plus 2. Okay. Now, so 2 plus 6n minus 6 plus this becomes 2. So this becomes 2n square minus 6n plus 4. So 6n cancel. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Minus 4 plus 4 cancel. And the answer is 2n square. Now I know that there are different methods to do this. Okay? You can do it whatever method that you like. This is the method that I prefer. Okay? और भी methods हैं इसके, I know. But this is the formula that I prefer. Okay? This is the formula for calculating the general term of a quadratic sequence. If you don't know, you watch my number sequences stream to understand how this works. Alright, now. So there's more. Pattern 10 and 11 in the sequence are made from gray squares and white squares. Find the difference between the total number of squares needed to make pattern 10 and the total number of squares needed to make pattern 11. Okay, now. अब total चाहिए ना? So पहले pattern 10 के निकाल लेते हैं हम gray. Find the difference between the total number of, yeah. So to find out the number of gray squares needed in pattern n, in pattern 10 we're going to do 3 times 10 plus 1, so that's equal to 31. And let's find out the number of white squares needed in pattern 10. So the general term is 2n square, so that means 2 times 10 square. So 10 square is 100, 100 times 2 is 200, so the answer is 231. Now let's talk about pattern number 11. ठीक है बेटा, अगर आपको ये formula नहीं पता ना कि ये कौन सा formula है, just watch the number sequences stream to understand how this works. Now the number of gray squares will be 31 plus 3, so that's 34, okay? And the number of white squares will be 11 square is 121, 121 times 2, that's going to be 242. इसको add कर लो, ठीक है? So that's going to be 276. So simply subtract 276 and 231. So what do you get? 242. Yeah. So you get 5, 4. So the answer is 45. Pattern K in the sequence needs 61 gray squares. Find the number of white squares for pattern K. Okay, so the general term for gray squares is 3n plus 1. So if pattern K needs 61, that means 3k plus 1 is equals to 61. That means 3k is equals to 60, which means k is equals to 20. Okay, so this is the pattern number. Now we need to find out the number of white squares. So that means 2 times 20 squared. So 20 squared is 400. 400 times 2, that's equal to 800. Simple. All right, last question. The graph crosses the y-axis at point A. Find the coordinates of A. So A will be a point which has x coordinate 0. Simply plug in 0 in place of x. Let's see what you get. So 3 into 2 power 0 plus 5. Anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So we get 3 plus 5, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 8. ठीक हो गया? Write down the equation of the asymptote. अब याद रखो, whenever you have an exponential graph, the equation of the asymptote is always y equals to the constant. Okay, and what is the constant? The constant is c, so y is equals to c. So here what is the constant? It's 5, so the equation of the asymptote is y equals to 5. Simple as that. M1 mock भी होगा बेटा, don't worry. M1 भी होगा, S1 भी होगा, P3 भी होगा, P1 भी होगा. Just stay tuned. Keep following on Instagram because that is where I will announce. ठीक है, ये mock भी I'm sure आप लोगों ने देख लिया होगा Instagram पे when I announced. तो next भी आपको मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. All right. So I'll stop here, fellas. Insta ID. Math lead by Saad. Obviously, what do you expect? So I'll stop here, fellas. I will see you guys, inshallah, in the next stream. And keep following to find out when I'm streaming next. Okay? So yeah, take care once again. Allah Hafiz. Jate jate. If you haven't liked the stream, please do that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that also. Once again, मैं ज़रा quickly announce कर देता हूँ the high scorers. Okay, in case you're watching. I'll ask my team to post the high scorers on Instagram also. Okay? Then you guys can comment and tell me whether your name is there or not. So at number 1, we have Musa Ali, then we have Hassan, then we have Muhammad Talal Zia, then Muhammad Ibrahim, then Mansha Lohana, Muhammad Mahdi, Bilal, Fareen Kashif, Fatma Zara, Alian, Antique Smarto, Muhammad Hassan Sheba, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Mohammad Hassan Shehbaz, Anaya Awais, Uzair, Aisha Nazir, Sayyid Saad, Mohammad Arham. So these were, up until now, all these scores were in the 90s. Not bad. Then there is Muhammad Arham, Hassan Javed, Ayan Jamshed, Hamza Fawad, Sayyid Munsab Hassan, Ashar Asif, Sayyid Muhammad Ayan. Oh, a lot of people showed up here. सही खर्चा करा दिया आप लोगों ने मेरा. मरियम आकिफ, मिना सैयद, कासिम मिजाज शाह, रिबा महमूद, ईसा कासिम, उमर अब्दुल्ला, अली, हारून अली, मोहम्मद इब्राहिम, जैद साकिब, हसन अब्बास, आनिया काशिफ, हमदुर रहमान, नसीर मोयुद्दीन, मारुख. Okay, so too many names. I'm going to stop now. So good job, guys. I will stop here now. Take care, everyone. Mohammad Talal Zia Ji. Mohammad Talal, आपके आए हैं 96 out of 101. Not bad. Okay, so I'll stop here, fellas. See you guys, inshallah, in the next stream. So take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz. Acha, what topic should I improve? Dekho, you must have received a report. Okay, you must have received a report. ठीक है, उस report पे check करें. It'll probably tell you what you need to do. ठीक है. Ashar Asif. Ashar Asif आपका score. Ashar Asif आपके हैं 86 out of 101. ठीक है. अच्छा, PDF नहीं upload हो रही बेटा. Could be internet problem, could be that the file size is too large. Make sure that the file is as small as possible. ठीक है. Make it black and white, not colored. That is why. ठीक है. So yeah, I'll stop here, fellas. Take care. For this time for real. Allah Hafiz.